Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV Deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Put me again, you can't put me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't put me again. Can't put me again. You can't put me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and I resort to crime. You can't put me again.
What we gonna eat no money, what we at you, eat no at you. Covid money, miss away in the your little rat you. Use the youth, them on them, waste, must have anti-statue. Say me like a catch you, but bigger than a figure you. Take the spit of money, girl, and say that it's not you. On the head, the man above end up in my gutter. But too much it in the kitchen, some of fly by like a patu. My singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me,
300%
it burn me.
Garbage pile of the day.
It burn me,
Give the teacher them
it
raise.
burn me.
I see corruption
It
face.
burn me,
Mash down the people them house.
it burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me,
Appear money them a thief.
it burn me.
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't put me again. You can't put me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't put me again. Can't put me again. You can't put me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and I resort to crime. You can't put me again.
Come me say dig up all the charities and all of the giver. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The 100 the promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, they rough and they down in our river. Member bowl only and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me,
On them treat the market man.
it burn me,
On them a treat the cat man.
it burn me,
On them treat the peanut man.
it burn me,
On them a treat the dirt man.
it burn me,
On them a treat the sun man.
it burn me,
How them a treat policeman.
it burn me,
How them a treat soldier man.
it burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't put me again. You can't put me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't put me again. Can't put me again.
Stevie dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no cape. And some informer friend we love lake. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for we in Global TV. Check it.
Good morning, and welcome to Global TV. It is your program at a glance. Thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you. Welcome to those on the gram. Welcome to those on TikTok. And of course, YouTube. Welcome. Good morning, everyone, to my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, via subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good morning and welcome. Like and share the live, please. Top up the screen and all that. A government in chaos, isn't it? I wouldn't like to be on the planet. I wouldn't really like to go to the planet that the Prime Minister lives on. Because the things they whisper in the Prime Minister's ear and the things the Prime Minister comes back to tell us after his visit to that planet, I think Dr. Sophia Longmore ought to assess the Prime Minister. Wouldn't you agree? Because in the UK, we would say the Prime Minister has certainly lost his marbles. Cuckoo Dally, the Prime Minister has gone. Because the thing them one can come up with. Never mind. It's the Prime Minister. You always expect something. And most of the time on the silly side as well. Sharon Bernard, good morning. How are you? How are you doing? Jamrak 8766, RJ Marcia Thomas, good morning. Good morning and welcome. Marcia Stewart, good morning. Sheena Kelly, Miranda Roddock. Canadian Gown, good morning. Lorna Watson, Senate Beckford, Marie. Rosemary Samuels, good morning, good morning. Abina Sarkodi, Delphi Campbell, Ronnie Henlon, Violet Watson, Cousin Myrna, Diane Campbell, how everybody do? Debbie Jervis TV, Raymond the Easy Jerk, Norman Ferguson, everybody you beat and teach, Wagwan, Lisa Wood Ladrick, good morning. Let me see who is on the talks. Julie Miss Mango, good morning. Debbie and Duncan, good morning. Kevin Thomas, Lyndon, Cub Social, Doreen Ellis, Claudette Gardner. Good morning and welcome to Global TV. Thank you for joining us this morning. Raymond Wagwan, Andrea Joan Hamilton, Wilson, Ada James, good morning. Good morning. Monica Hawthorne. Like and share the live, please, because not in our parliament they drink some specialized water which whisper, Monica Wills, specialized things to them. Colleen, morning, welcome. They also visit Jabless. They also visit that strange planet where people just whisper things in the Prime Minister's ear. Sometimes they do whisper a lot in Marlon Morgan's ear. But the whispering in the Prime Minister's ear is getting out of hand. I will explain, Jabless. Maybe you're not watching. That everything is falling apart. And the worst part of it, it's in an election year. You know, see what going on Jamaica. You see the salary debacle of doctors and teachers still rumbling on. So you have Faval, Minister of Finance, Christopher Tufton. Me just explain it to you shortcut. When you not come to defend Andrew, we have to take time to teach you. Health and education. The people are up in arms. So, government, mark my word, government, we say good economic management can nyam. Say good fiscal prudence can nyam. If it's not falling apart, how is it that our teachers and doctors are not sharing in that big old eat? The Prime Minister ought to make this eatable thing a buffet. Hmm? The Prime Minister ought to make this eatable thing he's talking about a buffet. So all of we can full we belly half a hit rather than some hungry and some belly full. The recent Don Anderson poll that came out, crime and cost of living is the two top concern for people. Go back to favor the Minister of Finance again, go back to Horace Chang, the Minister of Security, and go back to the Prime Minister, the Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation. Now, the five people I have on screen here are Andrew Holness on his four top cabinet position. Andrew Holness and his four top cabinet position, all in chaos. You cannot deny that. Arya said the teacher them and the doctor them are PNP. Because it seems as if when people talk about their right in this country or talk about getting a fair deal, then automatically we become PNP. Automatically we become PNP the moment we talk about our right or what we are deserved, what we were promised, what they stole from us in the case of Mr. Bolt and others. The minute you speak on your rights in this country is because you are PNP. But if you look at how things are going, Annie Jones, how are you? The Prime Minister cannot keep going around with the argument. I mean, if I even tell you the another one, the figures from Statin and BOJ shows that the country is technically in a recession. How is this not a government falling apart? Where the country is in a recession. Crime and cost of living is out of control. Education and health is at an all-time topsy-turvy low. Do you understand when I say the government is in chaos? These are the top positions of the government: health, education, security, and budgetary spending. Because you have to have a good budget and a good finance team to make sure that good fiscal prudence or whatever management he call it, it's actually something that works. What you all are not understanding, this thing is only working so out of the Prime Minister's mouth. It is why we are not feeling the effects of the good thing the Prime Minister is talking about, even though until we say it can nyam it, try it, taste it. We don't know if it's fruit, vegetable, raw meat, cooked meat, or starchy food, but the Prime Minister says nyam. Debbie Jervis, Wagwan, Ladybug, Norman Ferguson. How is this not a government falling apart when these are the top key positions of government are all in turmoil? Given that late last month, you saw the Prime Minister declare the roadways in the country a national emergency. You saw where the tourism sector was demonstrating for better pay and better work condition. This government, unlike any other, has had the most protests since COVID to now. Since we come back on road after COVID, have you seen the amount of civil service workers, public sector workers that are demonstrating against the government? Have you seen the teachers come out, the nurses come out, doctor gone pan sick out, teacher withdraw them service? Are you not seeing these things? These are what makes a government fall apart, when especially the top key positions, Treasury, Home Affairs, which is, you call it national security, Treasury, Finance, Home Affairs, national security, Education, and health. Can you not see? It's not about if Mark Golden and Bunting is going to save Jamaica. It's about the decisions that Andrew Holness want to have debate where it matters. The decision that the Prime Minister is making and is floating to us, that the economy has never been in such a good position before, that crime has never been this low. These things are not true. You cannot continue to blame somebody, the upcoming government, Mark Golden regime, who have not had the chance yet to see what a Mark Golden leadership would do, as opposed to what an Andrew Holness regime has been doing for 9 years. But they keep messing it up. They cannot get a grip of it. The Prime Minister liked to use a lot of mouth waddle to think that we have to believe all of the gibberish and such like and such a forth that the Prime Minister comes up with. The Prime Minister is playing Bustamante politics. You're speaking to a very uneducated nation, as in Buster days. We have come a far way, Prime Minister. We still have a problem with education and political education and civics in our country. But we come a far way where even the dunces of us, if we not decide to be tribal, we no can't fool with. Because one thing that we are seeing clearly is that the promises are not coming true. We no not do nothing to the promises. If you were all doing something, you'd think Marlene Malahou Ford, would be riding donkeys and dancing to get votes if you all were doing their job as elected to do. Do you think Marlene Malahou Ford would have to be dancing and riding jackass in order to show the people, I am down here too. I am one of you. I am one of you. She wouldn't need to do that if she was working in the community, if she had that level of rapport with her constituents. But especially when they become government minister and them claim to say them have to catch up a town doing nothing, because we barely see them in our parliament doing much, and the time when them turn up in there, they do very little other than making a lot of bizarre noise. So I'm sorry for you, my friend, if you can't see this government is in chaos. Your top key positions that hold government together is in chaos. You can deny it if you want, but you can continue to live in denial if you choose to. But the problem is Andrew Holness mess up him chances. Global, it's an election year. Can you hear a plan for them? Let me answer that question, Jay Bless, because I hear a confusing splutterer of the Jamaica Labour Party about the PNP. I do agree. I have been calling for this for quite some time. that the People's National Party ought to start putting out some policy perspective to us now, where we can start chew on to see if something workable for us. But I hear people having this debate. I'm waiting for them to put it out. But one of the things I hear when I say, which is a blatant lie, that even in the local government election, Mark Golden and his team never put out a policy plan for Jamaica. It was not true. It was the Jamaica Labour Party that promised us a manifesto during local government or a policy paper, which even up until the eve of the general election, we were promised and never received it. PNP put out a policy paper about a week or so before the local government election. And a lot of those things, I think, can be thrown into their national policy for the upcoming general election. So I don't think Uno listen quite well, even though, yes, I think the People's National Party needs to start explaining some of the things they will be doing. But remember, it was Nestor Morgan up until the eve of the local government election that was promising us a policy paper which never surfaced. So let's wait and see. But a lot of what was on that local government policy can, I think, be put in the central government policy. So these things are out there already. I don't see why Mark Golden and his team is not bringing those forward to the public in a debatable manner. Christine Gilbert, how are you? Sanjay Stewart. Let's look at the roundup. Annie Jones there yet, because we still could update of the fire now in the papers. But let's look at 2-minute roundup of the Gleaner headlines for yesterday. Because as well as defending George Wright, Nifty Friend Morning, as well as his continuous defense for George Wright, Fitzroy Morning, Everard Warmington once more go off on a racial tangent, and Mark Golden. And I don't know if the Jamaica Labour Party is understanding that we are looking, we are listening, and we are watching. Annie Jones, how you do? Because instead the blatant racism, the bigotry, the vitriol that they tolerated against Mr. Bolt, the bigotry they accepted against Mr. Golden. J. Bless, don't make me start upon you this morning. Don't make me start upon you to blood clot this morning, J. Bless, because you look like you don't have mama. You look like you don't have mama and sister. Don't provoke me this morning before a strike matches after your clot. Because a man like Uno don't have respect for woman, because Uno no born from woman. You have a nerve. This is how disgraceful you are. Uno JLP. I come ask me if George Wright was arrested. You disgraceful piece of third. You disgraceful piece of third. What does it have to do with whether he was arrested or not? Did you not see the battery he carried out on his now wife? Anyway, when I labor right, when I condone abuse when it political expedient phone. So make me leave on a figuan disgrace on yourself in front of the world. Never mind. Move on to the 1 minute, the 2 minute roundup. Because you know the labor right, them love to look attention. Maybe anytime you see them say justice for Melissa, or one of them where the ranking Turkey from over there, so saying.
Hello, I'm Joven Johnson. Firebrand attorney and King's Counsel Valerie Nita Robertson died on Monday at age 71. Her family said she was a champion for the poor and voiceless and will be remembered as a tireless defender of justice and the rule of law. Some hospitals and clinics were crippled on Monday as government medical consultants, senior doctors in the system, staged a sick-out over salary issues. And administrative, technical, and ancillary staff padlocked the entrance to the University of Technology Jamaica in Papine St. Andrew in a protest over unpaid retroactive pay, arguing that they are scrambling to make ends meet. Jamaica Labour Party MP Ervald Warmington on Sunday told party supporters that People's National Party President Mark Golding should not be allowed to enter Jamaica House as Prime Minister because he purportedly is a descendant of slave owners.
Who should we choose? Black man who come from a slave or the one who come from a slave owner? He must be the one who come from where we are coming from.
Retired Supreme Court Justice Carol Lawrence Besic and former Bank of Jamaica Governor Brian Winter are reportedly being considered for commissioner roles on the Integrity Commission with the ex-judge as chairman. Mrs. Lawrence Besic's possible appointment comes ahead of the February 25 departure of current chairman, retired Justice Seymour Panton. In sports, Jamaica's...
Today will be Justice Panton Removal Day, isn't it? Let's see how it pans out. But I'm not going to waste my time talking to labor rights because I know labor rights have a problem of understanding logic. So never mind them. You have to prepare for dunce people everywhere you go. Adjust your lifestyle. It is just how life is. Because say, Jamaica people, Jamaica workers are crying out. Medical doctors, and you don't see the danger of our doctors and nurses and teachers, even those who decide to stay. Even those who decide to stay are struggling to stay. But they still cannot even get back money owed to them. Why this government, why the economy is doing so good and the government cannot be current and its payments? This government owe everybody, you know, even dead people, the government owe. They can't say Paul or run out upon the government already and say your trust funeral far away. And to know we cannot get away money. Teacher rhetoric, retroactive or whatever it is. Doctors, the same thing. How then the economy is doing so well? It has never been so good in a long while. It's the first it has ever been in this position. The people at the lower end of the scale ought to be feeling it. Because the reason why they never feel it is because the economy never in a position for the people them feel the goody. But now that economy turn up, things are going for the economy. Share the pie, no Prime Minister. Share the pie. You can't have, hold on. You can't have your public sector workers so fed up. Even the tight uniform police them, where you see Compound Road. Even the tight uniform police them where you see Compound Road. Them fed up as well too. Everybody fed up. Because every time we hear about money in this government, is stolen or missing money. Faval, almost $1 billion. Almost $1 trillion. Dr. Tufton, almost $1 trillion. Colonel Charles Jr. were almost $1 billion, I think. The Prime Minister, millions he cannot account for in his OPM. Millions that the Prime Minister cannot justify in his possession as asset or cash. How is it that we now get the benefit of what is going on so good in our country? We're supposed to be able to can feel the good economy. We're supposed to be able to can see it in our hospital, Power Road, in our schools. When we go to market and supermarket, we can see it in the cost of living. We can see it in our securities because the police are well trained and resourced. Like, seriously? Have you ever called them and said they don't have vehicle for turn up? Have you ever called them and said them don't have vehicle for turn up? Even when somebody will kill you. Even when somebody will kill you. When you don't have nothing, no vehicle for turn up. How the police can be so well resourced if they don't have enough vehicle? A lot of them are working at derelict police stations. A lot of them is underpaid and overwork. So when we say government is in chaos, the government is in chaos. Because regardless of the good economy, which we've just found out is in recession, the government owe teachers them money, the government owe doctors them money, the government owe even parliament them money for bury dead for them. How then do you keep running around and telling the nation how well the economy is and that it has never been in such a splendor before? It don't go so. I want to stop advance the Lion story. I want to stop telling me about Michael Manley and PJ and all that. We're talking about governance. Andrew Holness is the one who is making the decisions. He's not making right decisions. SSL shows us, the SSL debacle shows us that Andrew make deliberate decision that affects the people of Jamaica in a negative fashion. And we're going to let Dr. Campbell, not what your name, and not Dr. Yobisar, what your name? Julian, explain his side of the story, because after Mr. Bolt came out, he was attacked by members of the Jamaica Labour Party, and then they all turned it political. One of the things, though, that they are trying to do, not clever with it at all, is trying to swing things back to the Portia Simpson administration. Bear in mind, members of the Jamaica Labour Party says the government has no responsibility here. We are drawing the government into something that they bear no responsibility, given the ties between the government and SSL. But what I noticed labor rights are doing is trying to say then, well, Bolt invested his money in 2012. It was Portia Simpson then, and the PNP government did not protect the investors. if you cannot blame Andrew, government, which the collapse happened under, how can you then blame the previous government and make it make sense? Because another flimsy argument that you all are going on, putting out there, facts will defute these claims. Where una say the PNP never do this and the PNP never do that, me not pick up for no. But it is clear that at one time the PNP put place restriction on SSL. And then the restriction was lifted in 2017. So it's useless going around saying everybody else a politicize the SSL issue. But then play even a nasty and a dumber piece of politics, because the argument make in public is not a sensible one. If the government has no responsibility, then both PNP or Labour don't have no responsibility. So if the PNP share a responsibility in the whole SSL saga, then of course the current government does have a responsibility here as well.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
This is Julian Robinson, spokesman on finance for the People's National Party. I'm here to set the record straight on the SSL scandal and to address the false claims made by JLP Senator Apka Fitz-Henley. The truth is, in 2013, under the PNP administration, we took decisive action to protect Jamaican investors. The FSC issued a directive requiring SSL to suspend critical activities due to breaches of the Securities Act. But in 2017, under the JLP administration, those restrictions were lifted. The FSC discontinued proceedings to suspend SSL's license based on the company's claims of compliance. And what happened next? In 2023, the massive fraud was uncovered, which has devastated hundreds of Jamaicans, thousands actually. So Senator Fitz-Henley's claim that the PNP took no action is a blatant lie. The facts are clear. The PNP actually acted to protect investors, while the JLP's decision to lift restrictions left Jamaicans vulnerable. Today, I'm repeating my call for transparency and accountability in the SSL issue. Has the Crow report, a forensic audit of SSL from 2010 to 2023, been released, even to the court-appointed liquidator? And if so, why not? This report is critical to understanding the full scope of the fraud and the failures in oversight that allowed it to happen. The public has a right to know the truth. The administration must stop hiding behind excuses and release the report without further delay. Jamaica deserves better.
Visit our website at pnp.org.jm or check us out on Facebook at Jamaica PNP.
Understand with members of the Jamaica Labour Party. You keep accusing others of playing politics, but I really don't see the need for come tell deliberate lies that can be fact-checked, and then at the same time accusing others of using an issue to play politics. This is why we don't get nowhere, Ladybug, because both PNP and Labour sit down and blame each other for doing nothing, and when them have the chance to do something, them don't do anything meaningful, and them just have we in the middle, like bat and ball, keep promising us and keep blaming each other to push the blame off of themselves, when we know the truth is both of them have failed us. It is just the truth. Both PNP and Labour fail we. What both of it do is stop play the politics and tell the whole heap a lie, because it now got in an era where we can decode and explain to the people them or research for the people them. When the lies now go stand up. It is no lie to say this current government allowed SSL to carry out a fraud. This government, when they came to power, was aware of the restriction on SSL because of their practices. They've lifted the restriction. And from 2017 to 2023, the government to 2022, the government continued to regulate SSL to practice as a rogue. Because the Financial Services Commission, one, either Jackie Stewart covered up a lot of things when she was the head of the Financial Services Commission, or the finance minister, whether it be Audley Shaw or Nigel Clark, turned a deliberate blind eye to the reports up until the collapse took place. Thank you very much, Kathy. I want me to set it again. No, sir. Oh, TikTok, I want, sir. Until the collapse happened, SSL was being allowed by the government to continue. Chelsea Clinton, how you do? Catherine, Keith. To continue to rip the people off deliberately. Andrew Holness make sure him put a JLP affiliate, a JLP supporter at the head of the Financial Services Commission, Jackie Stewart, to help to rip people off. If Jackie, under her stewardship of the Financial Services Commission, was doing her job, then she would have sent similar reporting to Nigel Clark as Mr. McFarlane has. Or Jackie was placed there to help the JLP and the Crossgrids carried out the heist against the Jamaican people. But this robbery, this fraud that took place at SSL, it's no mistake. Thanks, Kathy. It is no mistake. It was deliberate. The government organized it. The government, members of the government, benefited from it because, remember the bird will fly cross Leaching Bank and drop money in a Leaching Bank from over SSL for the Prime Minister. Now that we see the unfolding of all of these behavior, we need the Kroll report, because we need to know who is being complicit, who knew and deliberately looked the other way, who assisted in the deception, who conspired with those who carried out this financial heist. This is why I say Paula Llewellyn must not be allowed to take a botch prosecution to quash this thing and to absolve other crooks of legal responsibility. We as a country need to put more pressure on the government, because the truth is, quotes no read. It's a public disgrace going to be people like Bolt and other investors justice. Me want to know, Lord, that's the roads that are going. Me say, it is public disgrace of the state of Jamaica, the crookedness of the JLP regime run by Andrew Holness, the trickery and the phonyism and the fraud played against investors. My thinking is that your justice will be a public disgrace and public knowledge to other investors. Because the way all things crooked and corrupt in a few country, we don't likely to ever get that Kroll report unless Mark Golden regime can commit to what they say. They will go to the hilt to find those money. Otherwise, your justice will only be a public disgrace of the Jamaica financial system and the Jamaican and the crookedness of the Jamaican government. The way always see things that go on here now, me not say, in a fluid, dirty, corrupt, not enough evidence, time has passed. I am willing to take what you call the word? And a corrupt are the word. Tainted. I'm ready. I'm willing to take tainted cousin Mariner. Well gone. I'm willing to take tainted evidence, tainted verdict. I'm willing to take verdict rather from a tainted juror. We're not going to get really far in that messy system here, where top to bottom, corruption is the order of the day. Remember, Nigel Clark did tell us, we're going to have full transparency and accountability. And the other side of Nigel, Mout and the FSC went to court to block the Kroll report. Favor is following her marching orders of keeping the blockage on the Kroll report because she said legal caution must be advised. When we're saying the government are crook and the government is involved in the SSL scandal, the government, members of the government benefited from the heist carried out on the Jamaican people. Me not say no allege. If the Prime Minister feel like he want to sue me, if Darrell Vaz feel like he want to sue me over the building, if Darrell Vaz feel like he want to sue me for anything where we not say, sue with Darrell Vaz, sue with.
We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help.
And just a disclaimer, anything you hear the pastor spoke about, like cockroach or murderers or robbers, or so, it's not my word. It's the word of the pastor. All right?
Shift the parliament. All out. Whoa, we need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. out of Parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why not travel to Portland? Take out somebody.
I hope nobody consume me, you know. When you must sensible if you know, say, I know me, sister. Are they passing? Are they passing, sister? Not me. So don't run come sue me. All right? Super D morning. Don't come sue me over what the pastor said. I mean, when a liar, them dunce. On a paper wasting, ink flashing. Lawyers, them. Kana. Kuku do lolly. So I don't want to come sue me for foolinish. Oh. Let's look at what happened in downtown Kingston yesterday. Remember, Annie Jones told us last night that there was fire in downtown Kingston. Let's look at the update put out by, I think, the Gleaner or the Observer, one of them.
After 3 me in the yard, my friend sit down and talk. In the medication, she smells smoke. The petition said 2 minutes enough smoke, but she said she smell it. We smell it, but we not see it. And we did it anyway. I'm in my kitchen, I wash up the cup and I come out, and I look through the gate to go out in the road. I say the smoke, and I say, Patricia, she smoke, but me feel like somebody like garbage out on the road. So me come out now, and I look, and I say, no man, this look like a fire. I say, Patricia, you know it's a fire. And she say, yeah, can you show you so long? Me I tell her, so the smoke. I'm say, look like I'm in a Richard yard. I'm say somebody come out of the same yard and say, no, I'm not in this, I want to Fleet Street. And from that, I like it was a minute, and then it just everything done. Like a minute, everything done. Literally everything done. I'm tripping in them. School, everything, bed, a dossier, nothing. No, the way the fire just come on so quick. Nothing. My friend them come help me. Be a woman help me. Come on, help me. Anybody have any ideas to how this might have started? No, it's not. It don't start from Dalian. It starts from Fleet Street. The next side we breathe, and it just come right in my yard. About 7 different households in it. So check that by Eagle 6. Check that by the 6. That is how many people. But no, nobody no save nothing. Because the way the fire just come on so quick and sudden. You don't get no time to react. Nothing. The way all it just come on so fast.
This is heartbreaking. You know, this is a major damage here. You know, disruption of several lives, you know, families, an entire block. And so, you know, it's going to require a lot of effort to, you know, rebuild, you know, restore, console. But we're here. You know, the officers are here, the team from the community outreach team from Kingston Central Police Division, they are here. We have alerted the relevant government agencies, the Ministry of Labour and Welfare. We have alerted the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation and all the relevant agencies. But for now, we just have to be here, rapid response, console the families and see how best we can ease the stress, because obviously it's a stressful moment for everyone. Stressful moment for everyone.
Pretty girl morning. Well, it's a sad situation, really, what those people experienced yesterday. So the Prime Minister said good fiscal management can nyam. Because remember the other day him say good economic management can nyam. And in being criticized about such gibberish, the Prime Minister comes out doubling down and telling us, yes, good economic management can really nyam. Good economic management can really nyam. And I don't think the Prime Minister, when saying these things, understand how the people of Jamaica are feeling. The pressure they have when it comes to sending their children to school, going to the market and supermarket, paying the bills, traveling to work, maintain themselves, going to work with lunch and all that. Teachers are having a warm time, Prime Minister. Linton, morning. Teachers are having, John Reynolds, a really warm time. They are working with lack of resources as well. Same with the nurses and the doctors. I mean, the good economic management, because you understand the macroeconomic figures, the big economy, things that work in this. So you promised us last year when you was in St. Thomas that you and your team has spent 6 years to fix the macro things up there. And you're going to make us down on the micro level start feeling the benefits of what you have fixed at the macro level. How come, Prime Minister? How come it still can't reach road pop down since that? Teacher demonstrate, teacher protest, tourism worker protest, doctor go and sick out. Come on, you must say it's not coming true. The latest Dan Anderson poll, crime and cost of living are Jamaica people two top concern. And when you continue to go around the country and tell the people how good the economy is, something that they cannot feel. You tell people how crime is down. Crime never has been this low. When it is our worst fear, Prime Minister, because I hear you bring it back all the way the other day, that crime has never been this low since 2002. We're back to some 2002 figures. We're not back to the 2002 feeling, though, Prime Minister. We're really not back to that. And if we're back to that level of crime being so low around us, then we ought to be able to feel safer. 2001. Yes, so the Prime Minister said. So Andrew Holness said, when you go up on his page, because you want to input all sort of propaganda, all sort of lie and story on his page. So when you go there, he says so. Just like when you're hearing place there where I beg the tourists them vote. I beg the tourism worker them vote. But when the tourism worker them in a den debacle, Andrew Holness not turn up, him send Delano Steve Wright go pit out of them. Him send Delano Steve Wright go pit out of them because that's all Steve Wright do. This government has no care. Because if this government did have any level of care, this government would have stopped the whole heap of useless lies. This government would stop the whole heap of useless lies. Pay the people them money. These are back payment where you have money in your pocket for go around. You run a superpower economy. And you mean say your nurses, teachers, and doctors and police officers have to harass you for pay so? Make it make sense. Are the economy only good for unaware thief? Because the whole unaware benefit out of the SSL hoist, you know. Of course, the economy would have been good for you all. You can't continue like this, Jamaica Labour Party. You have to bring back like a humanity in our own. You have to understand, say, there are some decisions that Andrew make that are wrong. Andrew Holness have told some blatant lies. Kololo, I'm admitting we mash up your name, but sorry. The Prime Minister have made some bad choices, some bad decisions. The Prime Minister has told some willful, disgraceful, deliberate lies. It's just the truth. The Prime Minister's integrity and character has been a dirty, shady one. The Prime Minister was referred for prosecution in 2002, in 2023, no, 22 rather, 2022, albeit Keisha said, oh, it gone too long, yeah, man, in the public interest, it gone too long, so we're not going to bother with it. The Prime Minister in a court still fighting to force people, namely the Integrity Commission, for signing a clean bill of financial and integrity health that the Prime Minister cannot prove that he has. The Prime Minister cannot prove he has that integrity. He is demanding from of the court that the Integrity Commission ought to sign him off with. The Prime Minister cannot continue in this disgraceful, despicable manner. The difficulty for the Jamaica Labour Party. Complete another live goal, please, my TikTokers. The only part there, but why no Labour right don't support me? I want to turn bad, so. Talk truth, Labour rights. We're not always there, but I'm afraid to and fail to support Sexy K morning. I want to turn bad, so Labour rights. Not able to tap in the screen that is free. That's the freest you can do. If you're here, you know, is tapping the screen. It is really, really free. It is really free. Just try it. Just try tapping the screen and see how free it is. It costs you nothing. Anyway, the problem the Prime Minister is having, all of this tearing down, falling apart, and breaking away is happening in an election year. Months away from the Prime Minister calling an election, with a party that you have to avoid is hosting multiple divisions at the moment. Thanks for the share, Sexy K. Multiple divisions in this Jamaica Labour Party at the moment, with the government collapsing right around the Prime Minister, while the Prime Minister is running around and singing how great things has been. You will not be able to lie your way, Omar Thomas. Thank you. You will not be able to lie your way, Sexy Karen. Thanks. You will not be able to lie your way to the third term. Una determine say una afigo getty. Una determine so una take it in whatever way, because una not handing over the country to the People's National Party. You all are not handing over the country, you said, to the People's National Party. Therefore, we ought to take this as even if they win the election, we're going to turn the country upside down. Even if the People's National Party wins the election, we're going to turn the country upside down because we're not handing over power to a descendant of the slave, to a white man. That is one of the other disgraceful things the Jamaica Labour Party condone. When they are hung up on this blackness, this being Jamaican-ness, being authentic Jamaican, though one doesn't know what that is. But the loudest part of the hypocrisy is the level of racial stereotype and bigotry coming from the top of the Jamaica Labour Party when it got to do with race and ethnicity. Mark Golding has, from last year, come under a barrage, or even goes beyond that, but it has been constant since last year, has been under a barrage of racial slurs, attacks, and bigotry from the very top of the Jamaica Labour Party at the cabinet. Gillette Cuthbert-Finn, a cabinet member. Everard Warmington, a then cabinet member. All of these attacks and members of the Jamaica Labour Party keep their mouth shut, stay in silence, and watched it carry on. Now, Mark Golding in the People's National Party, is only the one white or non-black person within the People's National Party. Now you have in the Jamaica Labour Party, in the House of Representatives, you have Delroy Chuck, you have Horace Chang, you have Mike Henry, you have Audley Shaw, you have Kamina Johnson. No, she's in the Senate. Me account over something, you know. You have Matthew Samuda. You have the Henriquez man where stepped down now. Tantamount of non-black members of the Jamaica Labour Party. Very high-ranking members. Chuck is not an African descent name. Chang is not an African descent name. Vaz is not an African descent name, but they all hold top key position in the current Jamaica Labour Party government. You go over to the Senate. You have Kamina Johnson Simit with her neck turn up and pole over there. And you have Toms, of course, with the loaded ton of dry blood on his hands with the bottle and the crack pipe next to him. Oh, you have Anvaz as well over there saying, present. And to see, you have Jacqueline Stewart, Mitzi Siaga, and all those people who are deeply entrenched, aligned members and supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party. You have a white PSOJ that is closely aligned to the Jamaica Labour Party, like Metro Siaga and all those other bullshits. You have a white Adam Stewart as a government guru. But this is the party that perpetuates the most racism in our country. No, me talk about the living one them you know super deep. Me not talk about the dead one them. Make the dead one them rest in a peace. Me talk about the living one them. Where the Jamaica Labour Party have opened our face, and all of these people sit down silent, hear Everard Warmington and Juliet Cockburn Finn going off every day about their color and culture. This is why you know these people, there's nothing too much or too good about them. There is nothing too much or too good about these Jamaica Labour Party supporters, because the white members of the Jamaica Labour Party are willing to stay silent. 85 of the Jamaica Labour Party, 85% of them are white. And all of these people sit down every day and allow the two feel slave, because that is the feel slave behavior, you know. The behavior that you see especially by Juliet Cuthburn Flynn and Everard Warmington, it's a feel slave mentality. But you white members of the Jamaica Labour Party, Wayne Bogle, morning, you are some disgraceful, despicable thirds. Because to hear you sit down and listen to those slurs, Queen Boss, thanks. Listen to those slurs and act as if it's not happening, when you're the same white indentured slave master picnic. I don't understand the psyche. I really cannot understand the psyche of the Jamaica Labour Party when they condone and perpetuate racism, when 85% of the Jamaica Labour Party is white descent. I don't get it. Babsy Grange, your Ministry of Culture don't mean bull. Don't mean horse manure, Babsy Grange. Because your Ministry of Culture is to only go where you can rub up and feel up young boys. Because when it comes to speaking out on things, you're not dead. But if it's about popping up at a dance, Minister of Ketejum, Minister Baga Baga, if it's about turning up when all pan knock, you can guarantee the docile old minister is going to be there. But when it comes, you say hug up and kiss up and all start with young boy and get drawn through zinc fence by young boys dead in our lap in a rent a car and all that jazz. But when it comes to issue of culture, Babsy Grange silence. This old cougar of a third, you may remember when Mark Golding spoke about the conflict of interest with the Prime Minister appointing his wife as the head of the legislature. Babsy was the one who came out and slaughtered Mark Golding. Oh, Mark Golding is a misogynist, he's a misogynoir, and he's all sort of a third, says Babsy Grange. But Babsy Grange is silent. This is not racism. They have not seen it. But you white members of the Jamaica Labour Party, Equilibrium, good morning. You white members of the Jamaica Labour Party, you're a more piece of disgusting third than Everard Warmington and Juliet Cockburn Finn, the field slaves. Because you, the master, tolerate such behavior. You, master, David, don't make me laugh. No, sir. This woman is disgraceful. This criminal, this head of the one or the gang of a minister of culture, ketejumism and transgenderism and all the other thirds that she can be of, is a piece of disgrace. She has never once stood up and tempered down the behavior of these people. You see the vitriolic started by the Jamaica Labour Party that is continuing on social media against Mr. Bolt. The Minister of Sport again, and the culture still have not seen what Mr. Bolt, Jamaica's greatest icon, a living legend, is experiencing. Babsy Grain still haven't seen it. Let me ask you this, members of the Jamaica Labour Party. We might be done soon. Remember, say people like me and a whole heap of we drop out of school, a basic school. So we don't reach too far. We don't reach nowhere. But you see, because we grow a roadside, and we grow in a bush, and we grow in a village, we have what is called common sense. You know, the sense we write with little letters, not the sense we write with the big letter don'ts that you all are. We have little letter common sense. What is difficult is for a big letter don'ts. It's for a big letter dunce. You know, they dunce them like Darrell Vaz liar, where sue people who were pastors say. Yeah, them big letter dunce them. It's not easy to fool people with little letter common sense, you know. Because we can't say on a big letter dunceness. All the way from out there. So all if we have bad sight, we say somehow no dunce because it is written. You know the sand in this area is a sandy type of soil. You know, that level of dunceness where the sand becomes sandy. Yes, we know dunce from far. Una na go fool people with common sense. Common sense is a privilege, not a right. Common sense, only Panaga University, you know, and come out duller than rusty machine. Only Pano, real trendy. How are you? Good morning. Only Pano, Guy University, and come out like dull machete. And you just have to look at the Jamaica Labour Party, where the country, even though we have a full cabinet, is left to run by one man. And the Holness did come tell we say, you know, his MPs are not working enough. And we make it up, you know. And just said them never work hard enough. That's why the people never come out for the local government. And me and make it up. Go up on the Prime Minister page because President a third, on a no say in media fetish. And even if him a run, thief, lie, or scam, the Prime Minister have to show we. Pan in media, look at me, I'm a liar. Look at me, I'm a scammer. Look at Darrell Vaz, he could be a murderer. Look at Bobby Montague, he could be a rapist. You know, it's so on and so forth. Look at Babsy Grange. He could be the head of a gang. Look at Horace Chang. He could be importing illegal guns. You know how much of politicians should go to prison? Hmm? Do you realize how much of our politicians should go to prison? Patricia Matthews, how are you, my sis? Do you realize how much of our politicians ought to be in prison? There's a British politician was just sentenced days ago for 10 weeks for beating a man on the street. And our politicians are stealing, they're raping, they're murdering, they're committing all kind of phony things. And them there road a walk like nothing not happen. Ask Diane Smith in her grave and many others who has faced the brutal wrath of our well-connected politicians. Shopper Zusa, Asa, I hope me not chop up your name. Thanks for joining. Eugene Brown, how are you? Hope me not chop up your name. But this government is disgraceful. Everywhere you turn in this government is you cannot move and disgrace not tangle your foot. From the local government election, you check if this Andrew Holness regime is not in a rolling debacle. One after the other. One one scandal after the other. I mean, he's battling through barefaced because if it's one thing to say about this prime minister, he has no shame. That's the God honest truth. This
Out! Whoa, yo, yo, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election.
Kens,
Shift
good morning.
everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them.
Keep topping up the screen, TikTok. Keep topping up the screen.
Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why not travel to Portland?
That's good. Thanks. Good morning. Thanks for the follow. And please, Darrell Vaz, don't sue me over foolishness. Because I know say a lie, I dunce. Even though I want to hold her and beat her with fountain pen, marker, or crayon. Because I want to make sure so when I beat Darrell Vaz liar, the whole our uniform dirty up. The whole of our white blows. You nitpicking paper, playing, pen slashing. Illiterate, never learn much at school. You failed the legal profession, one boss. Good morning. When you picked up the word of a pastor and lump it in your defamation letter or your pre-action protocol, because what that letter was, it was what you call a pre-action protocol. Apologize or we sue you. So when you go to court, you can't just go to court and sue the person without sending out such pre-action protocol, or the judge would slap you back down and say you need to go into some form of mediation and negotiation, and if it breaks down, then you come to me. So that's what the pre-action protocol serves. Ono no shame. Talk it to JLP. Ono don't shame fist in our election here. Ono can get ono self stabilized with the good figures will come out of the polls, the blue dots, and cross the road. There's a pole. You know, around a Bradley Street, back road, or some other. The Prime Minister should be confident enough to call a general election, because the Prime Minister is tantamount ahead in the polls. The reality, though, the Prime Minister is facing a massive problem when it comes to political positioning in the Jamaica Labour Party. There's problem and ruckus and riot here, there, and everywhere over seats, or over which set of loyalists should really get a seat. The Prime Minister also have a problem in the party as well, where workers are at a standoff, and we could see the great standoff in the General Conference last November, when the woman that did name was say she now going on the wara it bus, or the bus now move until them get them envelope, and the envelope have to share up, because the party is of the view that from we work hard to help Andrew Holness power. And this is what Holy Panel Labour right shame, even though no out here defend Andrew, you know. Remember me, I did Labour right like, you know, and Andrew make me jump off of the bus. Just like, when I stay there grumbling and mumbling down a breath. No, me jump off of the bus and I cuss Andrew load out here every day. So, Holy Panel, gonna have massive problem with the Prime Minister, because for him and in crony them win, them forget about the base of the party. This is why the Prime Minister, if you remember in the local government election, all tick a morning time past the abatement hours, the Prime Minister walk on road and ring bell like a rolling calf. You heard Rosalie come out and say this has never happened since the days of Eddie Siaga, where the Prime Minister is walking and begging workers and voters for support. You see the different fraction. You see even in the vlogging community, war between labor right vloggers. So when I say it's a government in chaos, I hope you can understand, for those of you members of the Jamaica Labour Party who ask, what am I talking about? I hope you can understand what it means when one says the government in chaos, when the top key positions of government are all in turmoil. The security, the country is in a security debacle. Horace Chan. The country is in an education crisis. Is it Eccleston? Morning. The country is in an education crisis. Dana Dixon. The country is in an economic, what you call it? Recession. Favor Williams. The country is in a health crisis. Dr. Tufton. So when I say the government is in chaos, the government is in chaos. There's turmoil in the government top key positions: security, education, health, and finance. The government is facing a turbulence in those areas. How is things working well for the government? May I ask? The government were just declaring a roadway, them mash up. The government were try to patch the road them in time for fool on for election. The government were confused because him no cost of living a kilo, no. And him a go come promise, no, things when no say now go work. His credibility is at an all-time low. Division in the Jamaica Labour Party is at an all-time high. Can you all not see that? Members of the Jamaica Labour Party, Kishore, morning, how are you? Can you all not see that? I know trouble Andrew, me just tell on the reality where the cloud cocoa land we wanna live in is not going to help UNO as a party, and it's not going to help Jamaica as a country. The denial is too loud. The denial is way too loud. 79% Biggs morning. The denial is way, way too loud. Is that Carolyn? Carolyn Carl. Morning. Thank you for the share. Hope you all also are following the channel. Andrew Holness will not be able to lie his way to a third term. There's many things that he promises us, from 100-day promise to sleep with windows and door open, and then the Prime Minister turn around at checking with every day, judge or maker, van back or stretcher. You know, it's crazy. I mean, when I say it's crazy that the government can harbor such feeling. The government have to be able to come into reality. What we are seeing, what the government is talking about, everybody come to the reality is two different things. More and more, and that's why Boldfish speak more, because so much things are coming to light in this whole SSL saga, because when members of the Jamaica Labour Party went out there on a rant to politicize Mr. Bolt's interview, I don't think they understand that it would turn back on the Jamaica Labour Party, where we assist SSL building, transfer to Darrell Vaz, Pickney them, money drop over there for Andrew. PMP did put restriction on them. Andrew lift it off and put one of them JLP friend over there to carry out the hikes. This is why we need the Kroll report. Because if the Kroll report is released, I mean, that will show some of the different direction that the money traveled into. And we may find more people to put in the cells with Gina and Panton. And that's why from the other morning I've been calling for the arrest of the Prime Minister, the arrest of Andrew Holness, the arrest of Nigel Clark, the arrest of Darrell Vaz, the arrest of the Crossgrids, the arrest of Zachary Harding, the arrest of Ryan Strachan, even though he doesn't know how his name pronounced, and he pronounced it Ryan Strawn. Thanks, Derek, for sharing the live. If Mr. Strachan wants me to pronounce his name Strawn, he would then have to spell it rather differently. But for now, you are Ryan Strachan, not Ryan Strawn. Your name does not spell Strawn, and it will not be able to pronounce Strawn in that spelling. Your last name, sir, is quite a British name. It's pronounced Strachan. Strachan, sir, not Strawn. Strachan. That's what your name is. So, we're not going to call you anything else. Roshane Wright, good morning. How are you? Welcome to my live. I hope you can give us a follow and some tops and rows and all that, if you so choose. Joan Walden. So anytime when you hear me so nice to them, you know, one of the labor right, them come across me. Anytime when you hear me go into this extra nice side of me, it's the labor right. Is it Kev? Good morning. Anytime you hear me turn so nice, It's one of the labor, right? They come over here and threaten me and accost me. But top up the screen, Roshane Wright, welcome to Global TV. This is the At a Glance program, our first program for the day, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And yes, the light. Good afternoon. Thanks for the follow. Thank you. But we know, so when it comes to education, you have to know how to use wall nail and nail knowledge into members of the Jamaica Labour Party, because sometimes they just put up a brick wall. Members of the Jamaica Labour Party find it easy to just put up a brick wall and hear nothing except for what Andrew Holness want them to walk and talk. And boy, they are going to be very, very shameful. As me say, polythene rope. We're going to have to go by polythene rope the morning after election to tie Oli Pano labor rights, because we're going to need trunk rope and polythene rope hard for bus. Polythene rope hard for bus. So we have to make sure, say, Chanel Smith, morning. We have to make sure, say, when we tie not to tree the morning after election, and a rope we can bust. Hyacinth Martins, morning. Because say a holy pounder. Sandra Barrett, morning. It's Strachan, that's how it's pronounced, not how you pronounce it, Wayne. No, Sandra, Strachan. That's the pronunciation I pronounce. It's the correct pronunciation. Strong is a quite much different thing. This is a popular British name. Strachan. Strachan. That's the pronunciation. Strachan. Strachan is the pronunciation. If he wants his name to be pronounced strong, he will have to spell it differently. This, his name that comes from the British descendant, it is Strachan. Strachan. Strachan, not strong. Strachan. So I have to go respell over a name, or I'm going to have to re-ask the slave master, how do I pronounce this name, sir? But it's not strong. It's actually Strachan. Ryan Strachan. All right? It's quite a popular British name. Strachan. 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 Not strong. Murder! In America, it is pronounced as strong. Now, what you got to understand with the British and the Americans, after the War of Independence, when the Americans sought to cement their identity, they go off on a tangent of calling names and spelling word differently from the British. Don't follow the Americans with the bulldozery of how they do things. It was just a claim of being different from the British, who they won independence again. But it is Strachan, not strong. However the Americans want to pronounce it, like we say zebra and they say zebra, it is Strachan. So the American going to have to spell it in a strong way. Feet on strong, but America can't take the good British name and just hammer them way to it. So it's Strachan. And Ryan going to have to vex when me call his name, because it's Strachan. me know, I mean, I'm just a trouble, no. Me just being contentious this morning. No, sir. Our Max Romeo gone this morning. It look like Max Romeo send him rest a labor right friend them. I think come yesterday morning and torment and me never look upon him. Me no know if I Bex him Bex or him there hide. But Max Romeo have a way of just following me everywhere. Is it Claude? Claude Scott, thanks for the follow. Max Romeo have a way of following me on every social media page. So till me stop block him now. It don't make no sense. Me block Max Romeo anymore. He always have a way of finding me. I don't know, me don't like to trouble people, free speech. Even though the labor right, them have a way of them just cuss you for everything. But if I saw them born and I saw them grow, you have to allow them to do what they know. So life go. Me not go roll a dot with them unnecessary. If me have to go a dot with them, then certainly me will even wet the mud before me go a dot with them. But as me say, you members of the Labour Party are quite some despicable thirds, especially you, the white members or the non-black members, because the racism that you tolerate coming from your side of the party, when so much members of the Jamaica Labour Party, MPs and senators of the Jamaica Labour Party are not black. But every day, this behavior is tolerated against one non-black member of the Jamaica Labour Party. It's because of that same behavior Andrew Holness exposed Matthew Samoda. Because none of us knew or what then that Matthew Samoda was born in London. Matthew Samoda still holds his British citizenship and his British passport. Because of Andrew Holness bagamouth, when Andrew Holness come out and say, if Mark Golden want to lead the country, him should ultimately have Jamaican citizenship and Jamaican citizenship only. All the thing we want to do, it backfire upon you. Uno very behavior backfire upon uno. Matthew Samoda, so-called, as him said, as Mark Golden and Julian so-called said, they are giving up their citizenship, which is a process that takes around 6 months or so to do the paperwork. So, let's see at any time if all of them were said to them give up British citizenship, even though Mark Golden and them like dunce in this respect, because the Jamaican Constitution provide no requirement for a Jamaica passport holder. None. It provides requirement for, Paul, morning and welcome, Commonwealth citizenship holder. So the argument of a Jamaican citizenship only is for a new constitution, not the current one that we have. The current one allows members of the Commonwealth, citizens of the Commonwealth, provide living in Jamaica for 12 months, Colleen Brown and Althea, that they can take up a Senate or a representative appointment or nomination. So when Mark Golden yielded to that bullshit of an argument, there was no legality for Mark Golden to yield to that, because the Constitution, even if Mark Golden was born in Britain, Mark Golden still holds his British citizenship and passport. Our Constitution does not prevents that. In fact, that is exactly what our Constitution makes provision for. Commonwealth citizen. Commonwealth citizen. That's what our Constitution recognizes. Not Jamaican citizens. Commonwealth. Commonwealth. Some of Golden them never have to get drawn into that argument. But it is the play of politics. Anyway, my people, thank you all for being here this morning. Lovely to have your support. Thanks for all those who have joined the At a Glance program this morning. Make sure you give us a subscription and a follow so when we put out our evening program, The People's Point of View, you will be notified when we go live. Thank you all for being here this morning. Lovely to have your support, everyone. IG, TikTok, and YouTube. Thanks for your viewing. Have an enjoyable rest of the day and join us right back here this evening for The People's Point of View. Thank you very much for your support. Good morning and good afternoon from Global TV.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.